What's up, guys? Eric here, and in this video, we're going to be talking about someone you might be familiar with, and that is Grace Randolph. So it seems like Grace Randolph may have gotten herself into hot water again from a clip that she made last month, and the reason why it's relevant now is because they did a red carpet event for the upcoming Marvel MCU series Echo, which is premiering this week. If you're watching this on Tuesday, it comes out tonight. All 5 episodes drop at once, so go over and check that out. But she's coming under fire because this clip that she did from one of her streams, I believe, where she talked about What If Season 2, she talked about the character of Kahori, which, if you did not know, Native American character introduced in What If Season 2, a character unique to the MCU, not from the comics. And so she was talking about that character, but then she brought up Echo as well, who is also a Native American character, and then questioned whether or not both of these characters should exist in the same world. And it's kind of cringe. We're going to watch the clip here, and then we're going to listen to the star of What If Season 2's Kahori, Devry Jacobs, comment on this. And she's also going to be in Echo Season 1. So there you go. Let's watch the clip here from Grace Randolph and then watch her response. I'll give my thoughts on this in just a second.
And just like with Captain Carter in Season 1, who's back here again, Season 2 introduces another new character to the MCU, Kahori, who is basically Tesseract Pocahontas. In fact,
that was the comment that got her in a lot of trouble with people. I don't know if she knew how offensive it is, or if she didn't, she just didn't care. Either way, this isn't the first time she said something really stupid like this, really offensive like this, and it probably won't be the last. Let's continue.
In fact, the beginning of her episode reminds me so much of the beginning of that Disney animated movie. Now, I wasn't sure about her at first. Should we have this character and Echo who's coming up, right?
Wow. There we go. That's the comment. So here's the deal. Echo was introduced in 2021 in the Hawkeye series. So even though the show is coming out relatively close to What If Season 2, the character's been around since 2021. And a lot of people argued that they should have put the show out sooner. So it's just a weird coincidence the two shows are coming out together, close together, basically. On top of that, it's weird that you're comparing these two characters because they're Native American and saying, oh, it's two Native American women. Should they exist in the same universe together? It's such a weird take when there's so many other characters from the same backgrounds, the same ethnicity, the same communities who are represented in Marvel. So why would it be weird to have two Native American women together in the MCU? Let's listen to the rest of this clip.
But I have to say, Kahori is super cool, and super powerful. So powerful. Some people I suspect will say she might be overpowered, but I mean, I don't know. It's so cool to watch her work. I don't care. So now I'm like, do we really need Echo? And now that we have Kahori. I mean, sure, of course, we could keep both characters. It would be wonderful to have more than one.
Oh, well, thank you, Grace, for saying we can keep both. We appreciate your approval that we could keep both characters. So nice of you to be generous and allow two Native American women to exist. Just so cringe.
A Native American character. In fact, there are multiple characters in the Kahori episode that I think have potential. But, well, I can't give anything away about Echo, but when you see Echo, you will see that these two characters have striking similarities from their backgrounds to their power sets, and they do seem repetitive.
So that was the comments made by Grace Randolph, and it made me a little weary because I'm like, how could they be repetitive? The characters, other than being Native American women, don't seem similar to me at all, based on what we know of Echo and what we saw with Kahori. I'm like, these characters can't be but so similar. They just can't be. And so Devry Jacobs, who was Kahori, addresses this video clip in a interview on the red carpet from Hollywood Reporter, and it is great. Let's watch the response here. I also want to give a shout out to Hollywood Reporter for actually asking this question. I've never seen an outlet do this before. I mean, they don't name Grace Randolph, but clearly that's who they're talking about. So it's funny to me that they actually did this, and I have to give them credit for it. I wish that more of this would happen, that people with these kinds of takes would get called out a bit more by the stars. Let's see what she has to say.
I'm wondering if you saw this. There was a journalist that went viral recently for suggesting, or basically asking, if Echo and Kahori both needed to exist within the MCU.
Now, I want to point out that the reason why it's very clear that it was Grace is because of that statement. She was the reporter I'm using air quotes here, reporter that went viral for that. So here we go.
Which is,
really ask that?
they absolutely did, and it was so egregious. I was just wondering if you had a reaction, and if you could explain why it's important to have multiple Native characters in a project.
I mean, would somebody go up to a white guy and say, like, this is the one perspective for a white story that there is out there? Like, would somebody go and say that? That's
To answer that question, which is rhetorical, no, they wouldn't say that. That's just the reality of the industry right now, which is why these kinds of things are so important.
that's egregious. That's insane that anybody would say that. I think that I don't know. I don't even know if it's justifiable of an answer, but I'll give one anyway.
Okay, so I want to point out, here's where she starts to really break down why Grace Randolph's take is so fucking bad. Because Grace Randolph said in her video that there are so many similarities, and she's going to point out why that's just completely fucking wrong, which I think is great. Here we go.
I think that the story of the Horde in What If is astronomically different than that of Maya Lopez in Echo. I think one is of one talking about colonization and history and features Mohawk cultures and communities, the community that I come from. And then the other is about an anti-hero, kind of like a villain who is coming back to her Choctaw Nation and to her family. And it's really a dark crime noir family drama. And so they're both individual stories that absolutely deserve to be told, and one that I personally think is badass in their own right. But yeah, like,
Yeah,
forget about that.
absolutely. Thank you.
So there we go. That was the response. And I think it's quite interesting that we're seeing this sort of like firing back against bad takes directly from people that understand the communities that they're representing. And I think that's great. I think it's important. Look, the reality is I like to see a lot of different characters from different perspectives. I love to learn things when I'm watching entertainment as well as be entertained. I think you can do both of those things at the same time. Does that mean that everything has to be like that? No, it doesn't. But it's okay if it is. And if it's not something that you want to see, then don't support it. Don't watch it. Don't tune into it. But I think with someone with a large platform, when you have a very big platform, and you're out here putting out information as someone that is supposed to be reporting on the industry and things like that, you need to have a little bit more decorum about what you're doing and and understand the responsibility of the things you say. So I'm so glad that that stuff is getting called out, and I hope we see more of it in 2024. I think it'll be quite interesting to allow the creatives working on these projects to respond with a lot of dignity and be able to correct a lot of the dumb stuff that's being said. So there we go. If you enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave a like, and leave a comment down below. And I will see everyone in the next video. Take care.